Ladies and gentlemen, fellow wonks, clerks past, present, and future, I am so grateful for this honor. For years now, this has been the journalism prize that I have wanted most. In fact, I wanted it so much that lately I had taken care to be heard, remarking in public that I hadn't won it yet. This is a terribly geeky thing to admit, but I feel like I can admit it here. It's a geeky room. You're my people. How did the Hyman R. Soloman Prize for Public Service Journalism come to be so important to me? First, because it offers a kind of absolution by association. I decided that if I could ever get myself listed alongside such wonderful reporters as Graham Fraser, Chantal Hébert, Edward Greenspan, Mark McKinnon, and really every other previous winner, then people might start to think I had been doing something right. Second, because public policy reporting has always been the kind of reporting that I wanted to do. It's useful work. It reminds us that it's not enough to hope for a good outcome or to hold the correct opinions. Good policy journalism is more concerned with results than with intentions. Because a government that cannot effectively achieve its desired outcomes will eventually discredit the values it sought to defend. I know all about this award's previous recipients, but I had to do some research on Hy Soloman. He passed away in 1991, 3 years before I moved to Ottawa. He was the Financial Post's Ottawa bureau chief, and before that, its Washington correspondent. He was said to be so well connected that he could analyze government programs before they had even been announced. And he was a Masters Division marathon runner who ran the Boston Marathon twice. I think Hy Soloman would have been surprised, as we all have been, by the changes in our business in the last 20 years. Public figures and businesses and large organizations no longer have to go through reporters to reach the public. They can use social media, email lists, direct mail, YouTube, and more. This historic change has the effect of demoting everyone in my line of work. Politicians are right. They can go around us. It doesn't much matter whether we love that or hate it, it's just a fact. But I've got a question. When politicians, businesses, and other organizations go around us, are they doing it to get the truth to you by a shorter path? All of the truth? Well, let's see. It's easier for governments today than it has ever been to tell you why they have missed every greenhouse emissions target they ever set. Have they used that power to provide those explanations? Government could have gone right around me to tell you which foreign regimes sought to intimidate diaspora communities from exercising the rights that should belong to everyone in Canada, or why precisely most of the Canada Digital Adoption Program shut down 2 years early. These days, no government needs the help of the Globe and Mail or Le Devoir to tell you who's getting richest off of connections that are valuable only because Ottawa is far too complicated for ordinary citizens to navigate. And nothing is stopping the people who know from telling the rest of you what Jenny Byrne does within a party that might soon form a federal government, what her mandate is, and what its limitations are, if any. If any government or party or business wants to tell you those things, I sure can't stop it. But somehow they don't volunteer this sort of information. So people like me still have to ask and persist and search and observe and use all of our wits to get that information and make it available to citizens so that you can function as citizens and not just as audiences. It's no surprise that the message people become more impatient every day with the news people as the message people build their ever larger message armies and refine their message arsenals. It's true that we're lousy at relaying your message. That's because we're in a different line of work. We're in the news business. And since, oh, go on ahead. And since so many organizations are working hard every day to get further and further into the advertising business, some of us are just going to have to stay in the news business. I am grateful to the Public Policy Forum for encouraging me, and by extension, so many of my colleagues, in this vital work, which has become the work of my life.